room's happy space. We call it happy space because this is truly our happy space, and I'm with a really happy and positive person. Besides being multi-talented, she's extremely sassy, and if you come to know her, she's very entertaining. And talking about the wonderful Shruti Haasan. Shruti, that is
Thank
fantastic. It is true. You're extremely entertaining when someone knows you, isn't it? Have you heard that before?
I'm glad to entertain you all.
Yeah, on that note. But what is your happy space? Shruti? Tell me. Where do you think?
I think making music, working in the kitchen, and probably, right now I would kill to go to a beach somewhere. That would be like, I love the ocean, so that's my happy space.
Ah, yes, it is. Also, I think to ride by the beach is probably an ideal situation as well. No? Like,
Oh my god.
like
Yeah.
chill and ride by the beach. Just in case all of us together who are watching this interview are not feeling bad enough that we're talking about beaches and chilling at a beach. Let me just remind you, I am chatting with a person who has managed to shoot and to write lyrics to do an entire amazing single called The Edge that's available literally everywhere right now, in every music streaming app, to everywhere that you can think of in the lockdown. But congratulations!
Thank you, thank you. I'm just so happy with the response. Honestly, I didn't expect it to be this good. So
Shooting everything, planning the entire bit. I know you've been writing for a while. I know you have this little black book in the nice sort of way, obviously, and you've been scribbling the lyrics away and all of that. But you must explain how you've done that in this lockdown.
So throughout this lockdown, I've been writing and revisiting old stuff because I really wasn't finding the inspiration or the vibe to write something new. And I was I was writing something new but with one of my producers in England, and it was all not really this is it. I wrote a poem about something I was going through in relation to something I was feeling about someone, and trying to articulate it for myself. And when I saw these four lines in the poem, it really stood out to me, and I said, that looks like a chorus. And that's how Edge was actually born, out of a poem. What I was feeling, this big sense of maybe we all feel. And in the poem, I was kind of articulating that the strength comes from doubt, the strength comes from maybe, and really you find yourself at the edge of everything. You don't find yourself in comfort zones. No. And I feel bad for people who are like, I'm comfortable here. I'm like, hi, enjoy your average day.
Rise above the mediocrity, people.
No, it's just for all of us, it's true. We've learned our important lessons at the edge of things that are uncomfortable. So these four lines just really triggered everything else. I was speaking to someone before this, and they were like, oh, you're really good at being positive and avoiding negativity. And I was like, no, that's not how you do it. The positivity comes from owning the negativity.
Yeah.
Any sense of balance comes from owning imperfections, for me, And that's what it is. Maybe it's a beautiful mess, but take me to the edge of whatever this is. Uncertainty is a beautiful part of life. Because if we knew from the day we were born that this is when we die and this is what's going to happen tomorrow, I mean, uncertainty truly is the driving motivational force of our life. So I wanted to use that as the kind of the fuel or the catalyst to say that, this beautiful chaotic mess that we all are in like a fingerprint, each of us have our own little trains of thought, that they're fine the way they are. Yeah.
Okay, if you guys are following Shruti on Instagram, you already know that she was ambitious in even cooking. While she made it look easy, I of course stuck to staple diets and cooking for 3-4 days. But you were still more ambitious than a lot of people, I feel.
The reason I'm not doing the videos is because my kitchen in Mumbai is gorgeous and I love it, and my cutlery is really nice. And the house I'm in and I was like, I want to show people this kitchen. I was like, this is not an Instagram friendly kitchen at all. But I'm still cooking, but I'm doing my basic cooking. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's interesting, right? Because it's fun also to be a part of that. Also, for anybody who doesn't know, you also right now you're in this really beautiful space. You created this little black box of yours.
Yes, which is
In this
also still
gorgeous
exciting.
house of that you're right now, right? There's so much space. What do you do with so much space when you come back from Bombay, Shruti? From
Oh
Mumbai
my
and you come
God.
here.
So actually, I've been very lucky that my house in Mumbai has a lot of space now. It's like people walk in, they're like, "Are we really in Mumbai?" I'm like, "No, I'm really broke after buying this place."
Put in everything. I put in everything there.
It's so expensive. Are you kidding me? Bombay prices. I'm like, what is this? But I like space. I really like space. I mean, I don't want a mansion, but I want enough space to walk across in my home so I can think. We don't have that luxury all the time. Like my place in London is tiny, but it's also I think about creating a sense of space in your mind and like except the thing in London is you can go out and there's a park and all. Here your home is your space, till you go out to a restaurant or whatever. So I think in Hyderabad as well I'm really lucky to have a like so many people who like know of this place. I show them on WhatsApp. I'm like, oh my god, it's like so your house, whatever that means, because it's a bit weird and it's like got a rock in the middle. And I'm like, I wonder what they're trying to say.
You actually went to London and you did a lot of your stage shows. You put it out there. And you so tell me about that feeling. And of course, you've done a lot of stage shows, but you know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, when I first said, okay, I'm going to start performing in England, and then to get called back, and then to have different kinds of audiences. The Indians who first came to the show, it was like split 50-50 down the middle. Some people are like, Hindi mein gao, and I was like, yahan pe mat aao. It was like. And then there were people who would repeatedly, like, I created my own mini fan base in London, which was amazing, and non-Indians as well. And so that was really an exciting thing, and I think I've got the courage from there because Rudrani, I don't think people understand that that's the first time. It's like there was no surname, there was no Shruti's luck movie or this movie or 3 movie. It was just some chick, and you like her or you don't. Do you know what I mean? And it was so liberating. So I think that gave me like a reverse kind of inverted courage to put it out as well because there were all these big plans. But in 2020 we're going to do this, and then 2020 took like a big poop on all of us. Then I was like, oh, but I'm just going to use this to be innovative and to be really use technology, and because we're in this beautiful digital age. So yeah, but I was the most nervous I've ever been, I think, in years. Probably last was like my sports day or something where I wanted to win the best athlete, where I was this nervous. I was like a bag of nerves because I just didn't know how to comprehend that it's finally going out. Yeah. I think it's because it meant so much to me.
You have amazing, and I've told you this, makeup skills, like makeup on point every time. And I know how, because I've hung out with you, and I know how particular you are about, especially the eyebrows. But that's really difficult to get.
It's because I don't have them. So
couldn't I? But I'm like, when I think, I'm like,
I think so. I mean, when I first started acting, I remember during Luck and stuff, and my first 2 films, I didn't like my face, and I was like, that doesn't even look like me or the version of me that I want. So actually, the no makeup is the hardest thing to do. And then to know which of your features, like I personally don't like girls, for those of us who don't have like naturally bushy brows. I see all these Instagram things where they're like, pushing up their 900 brow hairs, and I'm like, oh, envy much, because I don't have them, so I have to like literally draw. What I've realized is when they say you've painted on a face, you literally paint on a face. You play with color, you play with contour, you play with browns and shadow and light. It's truly like sketching your own face every day.
Yeah.
And I love that. I mean, I love myself without makeup as well, but I look like a different Shruti, and I like this Shruti with makeup as well because you can play with it every day. It's like artistic. Yeah.
I like both the Shrutis too.
Thank you.
I still can't do eyebrows as well as you do, so there you go.
One ex of mine would constantly call me babe all the time. Everything was babe. Like I heard my name maybe once a week. Everything else was babe.
Now I'm going to ask you some sort of fun questions, and we'll go to a little bit of these are quick questions. What's the weirdest nickname someone gave you, and you were like, why?
I don't think I inspire people to give me nicknames.
Or like a weird name that they call you by, and you're like, why?
No, babe, this is the thing, babe. One ex of mine would constantly call me babe all the time. Everything was babe. Like, I heard my name maybe once a week. Everything else was babe. So, yeah. Like, I'll say babe to you, but there'll also be Rudrani somewhere.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. So it
Yeah.
was just so much babe, and I was
There are
like,
babe-
I am
babe-
not Babe Haasan, I'm Shruti Haasan. Stop babe people.
Babe Haasan. I mean, I don't know what to say. An actor you would have liked to quarantine with because that person would have been superbly entertaining.
An actor? No,
Yeah.
thank you. I don't quarantine with another actor.
Okay, scratch that. An artist or a
No.
fun person.
A fun person. Because artists on their own are not fun. Actors, musicians on our own are not fun. I want to burst that bubble. We're really not fun. We'll be like, this is my space. Push away people. Let's go.
Yeah, I mean, sure.
Yeah, so a fun person. My friend Brian in America, I would have wanted to quarantine with him and his husband because they're just hilarious, loving, fun, and he cooks like really good southern food, like fried okra and pie, and him and his husband are hilarious and loving, so I would have quarantined with them.
An actor's Insta feed that you thought was very entertaining and you thought was being real. That's a difficult one, no?
I really actually love Halle Berry's Insta feed.
Mm.
Yeah, I think she's sweet. And she's like really positive. Yeah. And I like, what's that guy's name? Are the famous guy? Josh Brolin. His Insta feed is hilarious. Yeah.
Is there anyone from our Indian film industry
Oh, sorry.
that you'd like to say? But I agree. I mean, I love Halle Berry, so I'm with you on that.
On the
I
Indian
actually love
feed,
Reese Witherspoon also. Not that you asked.
I like Danish Said. How do you say his name?
Danny
However.
said, yeah, he's
Yeah,
hilarious.
his feed is hilarious.
Nobody gets Bangalore accent and Bangalore feel better than
No,
that.
he's just like his timing is so mental. Yeah, he's funny.
He's funny. I love it. I like him too. If the lockdown was over and you had to go out on a date, where would you go?
You know what? You know what? You should ask this imaginary person. Would you go out with Shruti? Because I'm all sorts of over
I don't
right
know
now.
what to go with, but I mean that's difficult to predict. But I'm like, if by any chance there is a person who's human enough to connect with you and be like normal about it, like where would you sort of go? You'd be like, okay, you know what? Maybe I'll go here, like a place.
I'd actually just really love to go for dinner somewhere and be served on crockery by someone else. So,
For a change, you don't want to be the person serving it to yourself, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Shruti, what's one habit of yours that you've noticed, which you didn't notice before during the lockdown, and it sort of bothers you?
It doesn't bother me, but I love talking when I wake up in the morning. So there are days I'm just talking to myself.
I do that sometimes.
Especially when you're single and you don't have someone to annoy in the morning. Because I love doing like, good morning. I love being that person. Like, so I'm really weird. Like, I have good morning and good night, and there's no Shruti in between. Okay? Because then I'm like, I'm busy right now. So I've been talking to myself in the mornings when I wake up. Yeah.
I think that's a good way to keep yourself positive as well.
Yeah, I'm
You
like,
don't- you don't need
it's a good
somebody.
day. Yeah.
You don't need someone to be there. You figure it out.
One point, I went through this phase where my eyebrows were like, I'm not going to tweeze them and thread them, and I'm going to like let them grow. But mine were literally like Akshay Kumar's eyebrows in that, was it, I think Robo 2, right?
Yeah. I'm going to sort of take you through your own memories, through your own Instagram pictures.
Okay.
and find out a little more about the memory. I'm going to show you a
Okay.
picture, and you need to tell me the memory associated with it and why you chose the outfit that day.
Okay.
That's all it is.
Cool.
Okay? So we're going to start this fun game. Are you ready, Shruti?
Ready.
The first picture. Come on, I have to start with this.
Oh, that's the album artwork for Edge, and that okay. So there's a really funny story behind this. So I got that bodysuit from Agent Provocateur, and it's actually like a very sexy thing. And I've been wearing it for a while. I've worn it on stage twice, and then I wore it in a magazine shoot once. And then finally, it's just my favorite because you can put anything on top of it, but I just like the visual thing. And it went perfectly with my video concept because it was all black. I wanted layers. My friend Natasha, who's like my fashion police, was like, enough now. I think you need to put that away.
Did you say that?
And we have a
But
friend
I love
group,
it.
and like she shamed me on my friend's group, saying, enough now, Shruti, just put it away, okay? People will think you don't have any other clothes. It's like, okay. So that net top's gonna be away for a while.
Ah, this is an ad, but it's such a cute picture. You
Oh
have
yeah, that was a photo shoot that we were doing, and Varun is really one of the sweetest. Like, I just get such a, I we haven't, but I feel like he's a school friend. Do you know what I mean? Like he has that energy. We haven't been to school together, but he has that energy of being like that cheeky school friend. You know? Yeah,
Yeah.
he's very sweet.
And also, it's like this, you genuinely look like you guys are having fun. You know what I'm trying
Yeah.
to say? It's
Yeah.
not like, okay, ready, like, even though, but it's like, it feels like a.
You know, it's really easy to fake like chemistry with someone because you're like,
Yeah.
we're both so
Yeah,
hot,
exactly.
you know. But like to actually show fun, you actually have to have that kind of fun connection.
Okay, I think it's a wonderful picture with your dad on stage.
Yes, that was we were celebrating Ilayaraja sir's music and career, and we were singing the Hey Ram title song together. And I was 14 when I sung it, so
Oh my
this was a really lovely memory. Yeah.
My God, right?
Well, I'm not
Just
14 in that picture, but I was 14 when I
Of course.
My mum and dad have been a big part of my musical journey. My mum's like a great connoisseur of music. She pushed me and encouraged me in terms of Hindustani classical. So, you know, in that sense, she's been a huge, huge influence. And my dad is himself a wonderful singer, and is that openness to perform I get from him. So, music and them have been very intrinsically tied for a long time.
It's a very chill picture. And also, I know Tamanna is a
Oh,
very
yeah.
good self.
You know what? This was like at I think 6 a.m. or some bogus hour in the morning at the airport, and we were both like like zombie walking through, and we were like, it was that moment where like, thank God I'm not the only actress waking up so early to catch a flight. And we're just literally wearing what you should be wearing at 6 in the morning when you're going to catch a flight. Just saying.
Just
Airport
saying.
looks are great, but you're getting on an aeroplane, not a spaceship to the fashion future. You know, very few people are guilty of being all like, I'm getting on an aeroplane, you know. Most of us are pretty chill, I think. My airport looks is like one eye like this and like that. Yeah. Oh my God, you know this phase, let me tell you. I've had a real struggle with my eyebrows. Ladies, let's just like put this out there, and gentlemen, but usually
Sure.
I haven't come across very many scanty eyebrowed men, you know. Some men have longer lashes than we do. And I'm like,
Yes.
this is all, yeah, unfair. But I have always had ridiculously thin eyebrows. And then I had a little accident when I was young where I actually burnt off the front part of it. And then I healed, and they put vitamin E oil and all these creams, and I got better. So I literally have very, very little eyebrows. Then I went through that whole castor oil and this brow growth serum thing, and I was like, and then I started to look like, do you know Akshay Kumar's eyebrows in the Shankar movie, like 2.0? Like they were really going up. Okay.
It's not that bad, right? Absolutely not be.
So at one point, I went through this phase where my eyebrows were like, I'm not going to tweeze them and thread them, and I'm going to like let them grow. But some women have naturally beautiful natural growth, but mine were literally like Akshay Kumar's eyebrows in that was it I think Robo too,
2.0.
right?
Yeah, yeah.
I was like, then like painting them in, and it was just like, then it started to look like the Mahabharata actors. Full blast.
You just, of course, no.
Yes. And then I was like, they're getting really thick. So I didn't know how to shape them. And then I shaped them like the clown. They were just like two C's, like this. And so I've had a long and arduous battle with my brows.
And this is another, I think this is also her happy face, and you'll know why. Oh, it's such a cute picture. I love it.
This was from my talk show. So I did a talk show in Tamil. And it was based on friendship and relationships. And for the last episode, I called my sister and a friend of mine. And that was like us just like chatting on set or something. Yeah.
Amazing. I love what you're wearing, and even she. I love this dress. It's just,
Yeah.
it's so.
I was like,
cute.
let's be matching.
Black.
Yeah.
I love it. Meet Shruti's, one of Shruti's best friends.
Okay, so I named my pianos, and it's really
It's
this
cute.
one is my London piano, and her name is Violet, and the piano in Mumbai is called Viola, even though she's a piano.
Who cares, right? This is the.
And this piano feels like a boy, so I've called it Vince.
It feels like a boy.
Yeah, I mean,
How do you judge that, Shruti? I want to understand.
I don't know. The piano has like a masculine energy. I don't know.
But I think it's
Boom, boy piano.
so. Shall I make you croon some lines with?
Yes, sure.
Presenting for you Shruti Haasan's new single, The Edge.
Okay. Maybe it's a beautiful mess. Take me to the edge of whatever this is. Maybe it's a violent bliss. I just want to break myself into pieces. Take me to the edge. Oh.
On that note, thank you so much, Shruti. This was you created a happy space for me. And thank you for sharing yours with us.
Thank you. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Thank you, my
Lots of
love.
love.
Take care.
Take
Bye.
care. Bye.